And today is the first full day on the job for Arizona's newest Congresswoman, Adelita Grijalva, and cheers rang out on the House floor yesterday. Let's listen to that. There she is, during her first act as a member, signing the discharge petition to force a vote to release the Epstein files. And Grijalva also had some strong words for Speaker Johnson about the 7-week delay in swearing her into office.
This is an abuse of power. One individual should not be able to unilaterally obstruct the swearing in of a duly elected member of Congress for political reasons.
Joining us now is newly sworn-in Democratic Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva of Arizona. Congresswoman, thank you so much. I know it was a long day for you yesterday. We really appreciate you joining us this morning. You were that critical 218th signature on the Epstein discharge petition. Speaker Johnson now says there will be a vote next week. Do you believe him? What could delay this vote further?
Well, I mean, that White House can delay this further. I mean, as much as dragging of feet and trying to obstruct this moment has happened, I think it's a direct correlation with, releasing the files. So if there is a vote, I'm glad for it. Let's also anticipate that Trump is going to exert every possible angle and pressure on every Republican that signs this discharge petition. I'm sure threats of being primaried and, him coming out against them will happen. But the 4 Republicans that stood firm, I'm glad they did, because this shouldn't be a partisan issue. It's about justice for the survivors and accountability for the perpetrators.
Epstein survivors were in the chamber with you, in fact, when you signed the petition. You've become a messenger for these women. You highlighted their bravery in your speech. What have they shared with you about this moment?
I had an opportunity to sit with one for a little bit of time yesterday, and one of the things that was most frustrating is that their credibility continues to be questioned. That they feel like, in order to discount what they're saying, that every time they speak about it, people will make comments about, well, we don't know if those sources are credible. I mean, I can't imagine the bravery and the courage that it takes to be able to.
Oh, I think we have a problem with our connection. Was really hoping it would pop back. Oh, she's back with us. Congresswoman, we missed the last part of your comments there related to the survivors of the Epstein abuse that we were discussing.
Yeah. Our office is not totally functional yet, I don't think. Internet's a little touchy. But I do feel that it's so important that we make sure that survivors have a voice. And so it's justice for the survivors and accountability for the perpetrators.
I know you are up and running and trying to do so much fast and furiously as you finally have the resources that you need as a sworn-in member of Congress. So we get the technical difficulties. But I do have another question about this Epstein file issue and what's next. We've learned the White House has been working against the Epstein vote, reportedly meeting with Republicans like Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, which you mentioned in the Situation Room of all places, to try to convince her and others to remove their names from this discharge petition. The White House has insisted those discussions were about transparency. What do you make of that?
No, it is about pressure. Trump is going to exert every opportunity that he has to apply pressure to the 4 Republicans that signed on. That's what he tried to do. Now that that is over and there's a vote coming to the House, he's going to threaten primarying. He's going to talk badly about any Republican that signs on to this. And I think that what the American people need to talk about is, why is it that Trump, when he was running for office, said on day one, I'm going to let those files, everyone's going to know. And then he had an opportunity to look through them and thought better of it. We have to know what kind of person is in the White House, who he has surrounded himself with, and who else is implicated in pedophilia and abuses and victimization of children and women.
You fought so hard to just get to this moment where you could serve your district. Do you continue to believe that the sole reason your swearing in was delayed was this issue of the Epstein files?
I do, because every other reason was debunked. I mean, it had nothing to do with certification of my race, because 3 other members were sworn in under 24 hours with the same documentation that our Secretary of State provided to Speaker Johnson. It was said that, you don't swear in people during a pro forma session, except the exception for the 2 people that were sworn in during the pro forma session. And, we don't swear in during a shutdown. I was elected 5 days before the shutdown. Like, all of these reasons were basically just excuses, because Speaker Johnson actually closed votes early several months ago in order to avoid a vote on the Epstein files.
Is there anything that can be done now to prevent what happened to you from happening again to another duly elected member of Congress?
Well, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see bipartisan support for legislation that will ensure that this never happens again. Nobody, regardless of party, regardless of political ideology, should ever, the communities that elected people to come to Congress, their voices matter. And no one person should ever be able to silence 813,000 people.
Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva, thank you again for being with us. We'll let you get to work. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.